So, Lydia, my actual first experience with mentoring was a student that had graduated from the Bauer College. This has been like 6 or 7 years ago. And I was standing in line at the airport, believe it or not, to get on a plane. And all of a sudden, this young man comes up to me and he says, "Mr. Rawson." And I said, "Yes." And I looked at him and I'm thinking, I don't know him. And he said, "My name is so-and-so and so-and-so." He said, "I received a scholarship grant from you and your wife to finish my senior year in the Bauer College." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, I just wanted to meet you and maybe visit with you at some point. So I gave him my card. Sure enough, he called me up a couple of months later, and we met about every 4 to 6 months for like 3 years. And I mentored him as he got his first job and with Shell Oil, believe it or not, and advanced through that organization. It was so cool.
Wow.
So that was my first gig. How about yours?
Sorry, what are the chances of that, right? At a random airport experience?
Yes, I know.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Nuts.
That's perfect. For me, professional mentoring first started at my first job at AIG. And I was shadowing, being helped by a investment advisor. Technically, he was my boss, but he was also my mentor, right? Because at that time, I was really interested in developing my financial advising acumen, and so we started talking. But that was about 5 years ago. So.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, but in the finance industry.
Got it. But it was a great experience, wasn't it?
It really was, because it opened my eyes to see the power of a mentor-mentee relationship for me as a mentee, of course.
Yeah.
I felt like I had someone to go to that would understand. Like, your parents are great. Like, they guide you, they teach you the right things, but in a professional capacity, you need someone a little bit more dedicated and understanding of where you're at. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I was very appreciative of that.
Yeah, That's great.
Yeah, which is why I was super appreciative of you, because as I was coming out of the graduate program, right, embarking into another area, another career path, I knew I needed to get my head on straight, and I knew that I had things that I needed to brush up on. So I felt like our mentor-mentee relationship in this program came in at just the right time.
That's
awesome. And I have to say, don't tell him, but you've been my best professional mentor to date,
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, that is so good to hear. Well, I love the fact that, as a mentor, my, experience with you has been so fantastic, because you have forced me to think about questions that I don't even think about anymore. And, that I've just kind of just do out of natural. And I think that's one of the really great benefits for us as mentors, is that we get to really kind of rethink things that we've done in the past and give color to the experiences such that it really resonates with you guys as the young adults and students and mentees.
Well, I got an email from Aaron Reed, from GEO, from the leaders of the program, and Aaron was just introducing this experience to us. As a graduate student at the time, I was in my last semester, and like I said, I knew that I needed to kind of put on the finishing touches mentally to prepare myself for my career transition, right, for my new job after graduate school, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I heard about it, and she was very good at letting us know when the application was due, but also reminding us to take advantage of this opportunity. She told us that, we would apply, but there wouldn't be, they would take care of the selection process. So that's how I heard about it. And they did a great job at putting us together. Like I could not have asked for a better mentor, you know?
Thank you.
I don't know how they matched us. I'm thinking it has to do with our professional backgrounds, and maybe because we've both interacted with the team, they kind of thought that we would sync very well. But yeah, that was how I first found out about the program, and I'm just so grateful for Aaron, for Gio, for getting us together.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to remember. I think it was in a Bauer College board meeting after Dean Pavlaw had come in, and we were starting to talk about strategic plans for the future with the college and what the college needed. And, I've been on the Bauer College board, golly, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And there was always this lack of communication and connection that we as board members felt like with the students. And so when this topic came up, it was just kind of a natural to say, oh yeah, this would be really cool if we could pull it off. And, Aaron and Gio and everybody else that's been involved put together an incredible program. I mean, this is really a world-class program that you and I got to experience. And we didn't know each other, at all under any scenario. But the way they orchestrated it and educated us, before we signed up or as we were signing up, and then in our first introduction, where they put the whole program together and we all were, on Zoom for 90 minutes and talking about the things that you should be doing as the mentee and that we should be doing as the mentor. I thought it was just spectacular. And of course, obviously, it's turned out to be great because you and I have continued our mentor-menteeship after the final was over in May.
Right. I mean, talk about setting us up for success, right? Like, I think they did. And it was because they had such great guidelines like set out for us, and they got us in that right mindset, right?
Yes.
And so we both knew what we wanted to get out of the interaction, the program, and we both knew how we could support each other through the process.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. Like, we were set up for success.
We were. There was no way we could fail because they had put together such a great outline and structure for us to operate within that it was perfect.
But they still gave us creativity to be who we are, to like ask our questions, to get to know each other, and to add our own spin on it too.
Yes.
So I liked that. Like, there was structure, but there was still room to make it our own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wouldn't say our relationship is a Bauer or mentor-mentee relationship, though it is, but it doesn't follow like a standard format or anything.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Couldn't agree with you more, Lydia. I will tell you that this program, from my perspective, how it's added value to me as a board member is really, I touched on this a little earlier, but that is about the fact that I feel connected to the student body. And we sit in there and in those meetings and we have dialogues, with Dean Pavlaw about all different kinds of things. And if you're not really connected with the students, then you kind of maybe are missing something. Of course, I'm involved with a couple of other things with the university. And so but this program is different because it puts me face to face with you and understanding, what's going on in your world and how you're coming out of this college is really, really important. And as a mentor, every one of us needs to take responsibility for making sure that we're giving you as the mentee all the tools that are available for you to be successful. Because when you're successful, this university is going to be successful into the next generation.
It almost sounds like it's a test, right, of the outputs, like control testing, like you random experiment, right? Pick one. How is the college doing? Like what's the education like? Sorry, that's just what you said reminded me of. From my perspective as a graduate student, I went into this program initially because, well, it was a smaller program, compared to the graduate level programs nearby. But I wanted that cozy sense of support, I guess, that a smaller cohort would have, especially a full-time MBA cohort.
Mm-hmm.
So being a part of this mentoring program made me feel that way. Like it made me feel special, so I appreciate when I was here, that's what struck me about the program. Like, wow, people on the college board are willing to take me under their wings for a little bit and teach me about the real world again, So that's what I loved about the program, and that's what made me want to apply to begin with. But also the fact that, like, even if you have been working in a professional capacity for a few years, your opportunities to interface with someone at an executive level is very, very, very minimal. Like, unless, well, I don't know how you would do that if you're just starting out your career, right? But yeah, so the chance to interact with someone such as yourself, who has had so much experience, you've been in different roles, you've been where I'm at, but you're also someone I can look up to. Like, that is what also struck me about the program itself, and that's what motivated me to apply. And as alumni now, the fact that I could email you and be like, help me think through this, Richard. Like, how do what is going on in the mind of my boss, in the mind of my leader, right? That's what I really value from this relationship. And of course, like, you're always a joy to speak to. Like, I know when I speak with you, I will come away from the conversation a little bit more clear-headed and with a bigger smile on my face. So yes, I'm not sure if that actually answers the question. I think I trailed off somewhere there. But those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think you nailed the question. I think a key takeaway for me is the fact that I was actually able to connect with a student, and that from the feedback and the dialogues that you and I have had over the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, I guess, since January or February, that you believe that I have actually helped you. And as a mentor, the expectation is the only reason you want to do it, I think, is to help somebody be a better alumni of the university or a better person. And so my key takeaway is that I think I've at least contributed itty bitty to helping you get a clear picture of where you're going and how you're going to do and all that stuff.
I think one of my key takeaways is that Bauer cares about my professional development and my growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's key.
Yeah.
This program was worth it. This MBA program, this mentorship was a super perk in my perspective, and the full-time MBA program was worth it to me. The second key takeaway is that I have a friend, I have a friend who's kind of gone before me, who I can ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too many, people like yourself, but the fact that I am able to connect with you, contact you, talk to you like that, to me, is so encouraging, right? Like, it makes me feel like I'm not going into this professional new professional chapter alone, so to speak. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good.
I would say, look, you're in a business school. You're making friends here. Like a mentor-mentee relationship, I think at the very foundation of it is a friendship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're taught in business school to make friends. Yes, we call it networking, but it's also like connect with people, make friends. And so I would say there's no reason for a mentee to be hesitant because they're just trying to make a friend, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have so much experience, a wealth of knowledge. You know, you've been in so many different roles and capacities, but at the base of it, like, you're a friend, you know?
Yeah.
So there's no reason to be scared. There's a lot to gain out of it, you know, not just a friendship, but just a lot of comfort, a lot of support to be gained out of a mentor-mentee relationship.
Do you think, Lydia, that, of other young adults that you've, been with in the MBA program and around, in your social world, do you think that young adults are scared about having a mentor because of they don't want to look stupid in front of the mentor?
I think there's an element of that, right? Because a mentor-mentee relationship takes what do you call it? Takes authenticity and being willing to put on your best self, but also to put on your true self at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And as a student, you're not there yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's also why you go into the program, because you're trying to prepare yourself to be ready. Right? So back to my generation, though. Yeah, my generation is a little bit shy.
Mm-hmm.
Students are a little bit shy. And I think partially that's because the message isn't clear to them that a mentor won't bite. You know,
Right.
A mentor is there to guide them, help them. And if that message is, I think, presented clearly, then I think people will begin to realize, okay, I can be real.
Yeah.
I need help, and I can be my true self here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's, the fear of the unknown always prevents people from doing the great things. And so, it's now yours and my role both to make sure that, as on the mentee side, that we're making you feel like we want you to be yourself, and you're never going to get chastised by us as the mentor, and our spirit of helping is what we're about. And that's what I would say to any potential mentor is the reason that you want to get involved in this is because you cared enough about the university to be at a point that we're asking you to be a mentor. And this is how an easy way that you can extend you and your knowledge and background as a professional to a student who's going to take that information and carry it forward into the future. And, that's what we're about, is building the best, college and university that we can. And it's because of you guys as the students that we got to make sure that you are successful in everything that we can do to help you get successful. And then that's a win for everybody.
Yeah. Richard, something that you said struck me, which was, it reminded me that you always made me feel like you knew exactly how I felt. And I think you do, right? And that's why I came off so genuinely, because when you were sharing your experiences with me, you always gave me a sense that you've been there. You've thought the things that I've thought through, or like you've been in a similar situation that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
and I just appreciate you connecting with me on that level, because that, once again, it goes back to that friendship element, like how do we connect? We connect because we've had similar experiences and similar thoughts.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry, that was not entirely related to your what you just
Oh,
said.
it was.
But
Oh, yeah. No,
definitely
look,
felt.
that's exactly what a mentor is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly, and it's very easy. As the mentors, we need to be ourselves, and as the mentees, you need to be yourselves. And we trust the fact that, our great leadership team here at the University of Houston picks the right people to be together for that 4.5 months.
Yeah.
A measly 5 or 6 hours out of 4 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the value to be had, like I said, I felt like I came out of it with my head on straight. Like, oh yeah, this is what someone from the very top, that's how they would be looking at my situation. That's the kind of 30,000 foot view that I need to have of my situation. Sometimes you get so focused on, what's right in front of you. You don't see the big picture and you get lost. You're picking out the tree in the forest, right?
Yeah.
You got to see the forest. And that's what I think our conversations help me see, the forest. Like, big picture, Lydia, like, don't fret about the small tree,
Right.
There's a big forest for you still,
Right.
And that's the comfort you gave me.